Yeah, I got this. The Jumpers Jump. They are my favorite people to listen to when it comes to conspiracies and just everything, and that I'm never gonna stop therapy. I feel like it does more harm not educating people. Usually after my period, things just go so well when it comes to holiday launch. So we get red aprons. Hi everyone, it is November 2, it is Wednesday, and I just got back from a therapy session with my therapist, whom I haven't seen for the last 3 months because I felt like the last few months have been amazing and good, but this winter season I went through the Scorpio new moon eclipse like really intensely, and I think there's still like lingering effects of that. And also just with my menstrual cycle, I got my period today, so I'm just more deeply emotional. This therapy session couldn't have come at a better time, so I'm really happy I scheduled it today specifically. I have just been feeling so heavy with certain situations and childhood memories, and I've been trying my best to work through it. And it's been a really long time since I've really felt like myself, because I went to a wedding, right, like a few weeks ago, and when I came back from the mountains, I got sick. And then after that, I had persistent dry coughs. And then this last weekend, I felt like I took 10 steps backwards because I took Mucinex, which is basically like a cough congestion medicine, kind of like Dayquil, NyQuil. And I felt so gross. And I was just so deeply emotional and sad because I just wanted to stop being sick. And luckily now I feel myself almost at recovery because all I have is like a little bit of congestion, but I know that my body's just trying to get used to the weather and trying to build up my immune system. And so today during my therapy session, I just talked about like a childhood memory I had that really affected me about 3 weeks ago during the new moon in Scorpio, which is also an eclipse, which also intensified it. So I worked that memory and my feelings about that today with my therapist, and she said all the right things, and I was just crying the whole 45 minutes. No, I cried for like an hour. I cried when my therapist said the right things. I cried when I was talking about my work life, my things that I've been working through, how I've been feeling about another situation, and that release, the crying, helped me so much. And I feel lighter. I feel physically lighter because I gave myself this opportunity to just let everything out. And I made it an effort and a reminder that I'm never gonna stop therapy, because even though things are going well, it doesn't mean that you can stop therapy, because constantly life is a ebb and flow. Like there's always gonna be ups and downs, and if you find the right therapist, I really do pray and hope that everybody finds their therapist that they relate to the most, because once you find that perfect therapist, you will feel so safe in their space, and it gives you this sense of comfort knowing that you can have this third party away from your friends and family or any mutual friends that are hearing about your problems and are giving you critical feedback. And I know therapy is super scary. I know it's definitely something that a lot of my friends are also scared of jumping into. But if you feel like you're really scared about joining therapy, I would really advocate that you figure out why. I have a friend who said she doesn't want to do therapy because she feels like the therapist wouldn't understand her because she just thinks a certain way. But I told her it's not that you're going to a therapist for your solutions. You're going to a therapist to talk it out and have that therapist give you a different perspective upon your situation, to give you the insight, the tools, and the change to approach your situations and your emotions and your traumas. And the sessions itself, it's all dependent on you. For me, I'm already such an open, aware person. I already am vulnerable, and it's very easy for me to just speak my mind and speak my heart. So luckily enough, when I go to therapy, I already know that I'm gonna gain something out of it. But for some people, I understand it's a little different. It's kind of hard from starting from scratch, especially if you're someone who's not vulnerable, and especially if you're uncomfortable with opening up to a complete stranger. Like, I know it's very daunting, but over time, it's like going to the gym. It's like starting a new skill or a new hobby. You have to gain, you need to give yourself the consistency. You need to give yourself the motivating factor of either I want to do this for the benefit of my own sake and also for the people around me, or am I doing this because I don't want to pass on these generational issues and traumas to my children, or is it I just really need someone to talk to besides my family and friends? Like, find the why. And I want to make a video on why you should do therapy. I want to have a more comprehensive video of what you can be expecting. I know each place is a little different, but essentially what I'm trying to say is I just recommend therapy to everyone. It was probably the best decision I've ever made. It truly helped me. It truly helped my relationship with my boyfriend, and also just how I am working through certain emotions that come up through each season. And overall, I'm very lucky that the therapist I found is the therapist I've been sticking to. I don't know how it is for each hospital, each company, but I can personally just schedule whenever I feel like I'm ready to have an appointment. Before, I would do every 2 weeks, and it got to a point where I'm like, okay, every 3 weeks, every month, and now it's like probably every couple months, or it just depends what I'm going through in life. So enough of that. I am gonna go to a coffee shop and I want to read Women Who Run with the Wolves. I just finished my book called Quantum Creativity that my coworker Saul let me borrow, and that was chef's kiss. I need to get myself a hard copy of that so I can annotate some quotes that I loved. But right now I'm gonna get into her. I'm gonna get into this beauty because I put her down for a little bit, and now I'm ready to go back into it because I wanted to finish that book first. I am gonna take you guys along today for another day in the life. I hope you guys enjoy. I think I'm also gonna bring this with me to the coffee shop. Healing Body Meditations, 30 Mandalas to Enhance Your Health and Well-Being. My cousin gave this to me and I was so appreciative when I got this because this has just a lot of beautiful visuals. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is so beautiful. So many beautiful mandalas, and I just haven't read it in a while, so I need to get back into it. So I think I'm gonna bring these two, and I'm gonna bring my laptop and my iPad so I can search up some guided meditations that my therapist recommended to me. It's called selfcompassion.org. It was created by this one psychologist, and she basically has some guided meditations that my therapist said, and my therapist said that the people that end up doing those meditations have more self-compassion for themselves, and therefore they can give more self-compassion to other people. And I think I really need that, and I really adore my guided meditations. Currently 12 p.m. I am at Barnes & Noble. I was gonna go to my boyfriend's house because I had like 2 hours before my shift to see him, and he has like a half day of work today. So I drove all the way to his area, but then I just didn't want to drive back to my workplace and stress out. So we both agreed that we'd meet up near where I worked. So I'm currently at Barnes & Noble. I'm gonna go in and read. But when I was in my boyfriend's area on his side of town, I got some coffee. I got this honey sage latte, and it is such an interesting drink. I got a decaf oat milk latte with the honey sage syrup, and I asked for it to be a little sweet, and it's perfect. And I haven't bought myself coffee in a really long time because I usually just get it when I work at Starbucks, but having different flavors on the menu always sparked my interest, so I had to try this one, and it was definitely worth it. So I'm very happy and satisfied, and I am so thankful that they also have gluten-free pastries. I can eat any pastry that I want, but I prefer being gluten-free just because I know it's better for my gut health. So I got like a pumpkin cream cheese loaf, and it was so good. I have like a little bit left. I am really excited to just sit down and just do a little bit of work before I see my mans. But I was listening to Jumpers Jump. They are my favorite people to listen to when it comes to conspiracies and just everything in general. I absolutely love listening to their podcast, and I was listening to their latest one that they did on Halloween. And while I was driving, they were talking about the concept of milk. They were talking about how back then we were in our face, we were always advertised got milk, you know, like buying milk products, celebrities would endorse that. And working at Starbucks made me realize how much I do not support Starbucks in regards to just the capitalism upon it, because I am always going to be an advocate for health and holistic health and knowing what you're putting in your body. And so with Starbucks, I understand that they are who they are, but it is so sad sometimes to see certain customers that come in on the daily basis who rely on caffeine, who need it to be in a better mood, who need it for work. Like, caffeine is a literal drug, but it is so normalized, and people get migraines from it, headaches, withdrawals if they don't have it every day. It's a money eater. People come in every single day paying $5 to $8 a drink. Well, nowadays it's about like $6 to like $9 depending on how much you customize it. And then on top of that, you're constantly pumping so much sugar in your body. And I want to make a whole video sharing my experience working at Starbucks, how it is working there. I mean, I absolutely love and adore that they take care of their workers to an extent, because recently they've been doing some union busting, but essentially, like, I am very grateful for just the way they take care of their partners. But at the end of the day, it's not a company I will like stand by forever and always, because it just doesn't really align with my values. And just seeing customers treat my coworkers a type of way, or most of the time when you work in the food industry, you come to realize that the way you're treated from other people, especially of older generation who have high paying jobs, they treat you a way that is so inhumane. Because I've seen people get yelled at, I've seen people get thrown at with like drinks and everything. There's just so much to go into it, but that's just like a little spiel, because I was listening to Jumpers Jump and they were talking about the Got Milk ads, and it just reminded me like about Starbucks and how they run their business, and I just want to dive deep into it. So I'll make another video for that in the future, but I'm gonna head in and I'm gonna get some work started. So it is almost 11. I just got back home. I don't feel tired, surprisingly, because I am on my period. So when I am on my period, I can feel my energy starting to rise up again. And so I don't feel as tired and lethargic as I usually do. So kind of feel like things are looking up, because I know that usually after my period, things just go so well. So yeah, I need to wind down and get to bed soon, because I wake up tomorrow and I have to go to work again at 7. But I did want to share a few things real quick. There is this Afro Lo-Fi channel that's fairly new that came up on my recommended, and I'm currently listening to Washing the Stressful Day Off, and I just love the cover. It just sets the mood. And then I also have like my candle running. I also have my humidifier on. I'm doing the proper things to properly wind down for once. And then I'm gonna go ahead and make myself some tea, because I'm still kind of coughing, and every time I laugh, I feel like I can't laugh normally because I always am met with a bunch of just dry coughs. And I am ready for tomorrow. I have my outfit planned, and then I'm going to a white coat ceremony for one of my friends. I think I'm just gonna wear the same outfit, but I don't know. We'll see. I think I'm just gonna wear my cargo pants and my black shirt that I have prepped for tomorrow, and then just like a nice jacket. It's like 11 p.m. right now, and I am ready to go to bed, so I'm just gonna go wash my face and wash my body. I don't wash my hair every single day. I wash it like every 3-4 days, and so it just like saves me the time. I'm gonna chug a bunch of water because I know I haven't been hydrating myself a lot, and I told one of my friends who helped me do a self-reflective activity, she's like, okay, we're gonna make you drink at least 16 ounces of water a day. And that's actually a good goal because during the winter time I don't drink a lot of water, because compared to the summertime I feel like I'm constantly sweating and parched. But then during the winter time I know the air is drier, but for some reason the incentive to drink water is just not as prominent for me. So I'm gonna chug this before I go to bed, and then yeah, I'm just gonna wash my face, I'm gonna wash my body. I did go to Applebee's with Joe earlier, and that was like an interesting experience, and it was my first time going to Applebee's, but we were both really hungry, so we went to that place for lunch. And then after, I also did the board for my work. I'm not super proud of it because I was very low on time, but it's better than nothing. I had to write down the partner of the quarter, which is the one person from the group of employees that end up getting nominated. Good morning. So it is 7 a.m. I'm about to go to work. I wanted to show you guys the red apron and what I put on my apron. I think this is just something I want to document for my future me, to remind myself that I worked at Starbucks. But these are kind of the cool things that goes on when it comes to holiday launch. So we get red aprons, and then we can put one personal pin, but we can put as many Starbucks merch pins. I have this, and then I have my Sharpies and my box cutter. So let's do a little fit check. I just need to make sure I leave in the next 10 minutes, so I'm okay on time. I'm wearing my cargo pants with all the pockets, and this is one of my favorite shirts because it cinches on the sides, so it gives me that hourglass shape. Okay, I feel like I didn't tie it nicely. Hold on. That's what it looks like. Here is my holiday fit for the day. And then I'm gonna wear my docks, my platform docks, but I'm feeling festive. I got a venti soy decaf single long shot latte with 2 pumps of chestnut praline. My favorite. I used to not have soy milk, but then I realized my body loves soy milk. I feel like it gets all the protein and nutrients from it, and luckily enough Starbucks has organic soy milk, so out of all the milks that they have, I feel like soy milk is just the best way to go. That's my opinion. I stopped using the oat milk from Starbucks because it's just hydrolyzed. I don't know how to say it, but it's basically just canola oil and fake oat milk, or fake oats. So I noticed that was making my skin itchy, but with soy milk, this one is chef's kiss. So I just got back from work. I got some holiday cups, not for me. Well, I did get one for me. I got this holiday mug. I got it because it's a mug bowl and I'm obsessed with mug bowls, and I had a friend who gave me a mug bowl for one of my birthdays, but then it broke, so I was super bummed about it. I don't know what this metal thing is. I don't think that's supposed to be there. That is so weird. So I got this for me, and I absolutely love the engraving on it and the color. The color is like a teal bluish green, and it just makes me feel so festive. I really like it, so I'm really happy about this. And then I got 2 cups that are not for me. This is for my future mother-in-law. She got the gold tumbler Starbucks cup. This is for my future mother-in-law. She wanted this one, and it honestly suits her and her personality because she's a queen. So yeah, I got this. And then my future brother-in-law's wifey slash girlfriend wanted this, and this one is super cute as well. It's metal, and it's called the Forest Cup, and it's so cute. It's so pretty. It's gorgeous. So I'm gonna give that to them when I see them. I just got back from my friend's white coat ceremony, and I was just there to support her. I was sitting by myself. I was feeling really introverted. I just didn't have it in me to socialize and make connections at the moment. And I guess like I want to mention that because I feel like for me personally, I do feel as if when I go out, especially when I intentionally go out to socialize, I want to make it an effort to make a very good impression and also just connect with people, because I really do deeply value that. But there's nothing wrong for me to say that, oh, I feel introverted and I don't want to do that. So I respectfully said to my friend that I'm not going to be eating dinner with them. I'm going to go home because I had like a long day of work. And it's true, like having work today and having to set up for the holiday launch yesterday definitely drained me, and I knew that I just needed my reset time. I'm very lucky that the friends I have always respect and honor my time, and I never feel like I have any backlash from my close friends, because we all understand that we all have our own things and we have our own time and energy. So I feel so much better just like being in my PJs, my Christmas PJs, and my sweater hoodie. I was listening to a DJ set by Lucia Liu. I'll put her video that I was watching, and she was just kind of like hyping me up in this like mellow state of mind. But I'm actually right now listening to a podcast from Shan Bodhi. I'm listening to a podcast called Sex is Hard, no pun intended, or maybe it is, featuring Kev on Stage and Mrs. Kev on Stage. Kev on Stage is a comedian. I have never heard of him, but I want to look into him. But they are a married couple. The husband lost his virginity when he was 16, and he married someone who was a virgin. So they're having like a detailed, intricate talk with Shan Bodhi about how their sex life is. And I love learning about this stuff because I feel like for me, a personal value of mine is having intimacy with my partner, and we do very, very good at that because we have amazing chemistry. We're definitely meant for each other. As cheesy as that sounds, we've just had very vulnerable and sacred, intimate moments where we just know that if we were to lose our libido over time, I mean, life happens, but at the end of the day, we deeply care about each other. But learning about this type of stuff, especially when it comes to sex, is very like important in my opinion, because it's definitely like human nature to want to experience these type of physical feelings and these physical sensations. So I want it to be very normalized when I talk about it in this channel. I want to talk about just everything openly, but in general, I just want to bring the general awareness and education for people to be more comfortable about it, because especially coming from an Asian background, I was taught also from like a young age, and with my religious background growing up, I'm not religious anymore, but I grew up kind of religious. I found that sex was something to be ashamed of, and you know, it all ties in with just how women are taught and how they are perceived to be a type of way if they enjoy having sex, and it's something that I feel like it's doing more harm to not educate. I feel like it does more harm not educating people and spreading awareness and just creating discussions, not necessarily telling you what to do and not to do, but just letting you know, like, this is my experience, this is so and so's experience. So when I listen to Shambodi's channel and podcast, I absolutely love everything that I hear and everything I learn, because she is a lot older than me. I don't know how old she is exactly, but she has 2 kids. But she lives a lifestyle that I want to live as well in the future, especially when it comes to my partner and just our dynamic in general. So I learned so much, and and also as a human being, I absolutely adore how vulnerable and open Shambodi is with her personal life, and the fact that she is still open to criticism, showing her shortcomings and admitting her wrongs and all of that, because she has a very strong personality. I just truly respect her and admire her, and she has certain qualities I want to carry on and try to practice and incorporate in my life. So she is definitely like a figure I look up to, especially on the internet. And I remember one time I left a comment on her channel, and I think she responded back and a few people liked it. But it feels good to know that the people you watch online read your comments, and I feel like the time you take to write a comment for someone who's also just another human being out there, I feel like if you take the time to let them know how you feel, especially if you have gained some type of benefit or some kind of learning from that person, I think expressing that gratitude is gonna go a long way for them, especially if they're going through stuff. So that was just a little something I wanted to talk about. But other than that, I'm going to end the vlog here. I'm gonna wind down and just continue watching the podcast and also just read a bit. I just want to stay away from social media and also just ground myself by doing my skincare routine and set up myself for success for tomorrow by setting my intentions. So I hope you guys enjoyed this very random and sporadic vlog. I feel like it was kind of everywhere. I haven't seen all my footage, but once I edit it, I hope everything flows very well. But thank you again if you made it this far. I appreciate ya, and until next time, I'll see you guys in my next vlog. Bye!